Hey, and welcome back to my channel. Are you interested in getting started in the recruitment field? Recruitment and staffing is an industry that's quickly growing, especially as it's one that can be done independently from home. It also has a fairly low entry barrier. If you have a degree, good communication skills, and the drive to learn and constantly build your skills, you might consider looking for an entry-level job in the recruitment sphere. Many independent recruiters actually got their start at a staffing and recruiting agency. What are these agencies exactly? Well, if you're curious, make sure you check out my previous video, but for now, just know that staffing or recruitment agencies are private businesses hired by other organizations to seek out qualified candidates for potential employment. They are often thought of as matchmakers of the professional world. There's actually more to that though. In fact, recruiting is actually one of the toughest sales jobs that exist. Think about it. You're selling multiple things to multiple people all the time. The job to the candidate to the job, the offer to the candidate, the counteroffer to the hiring manager. You'll even have to work with and negotiate a deal between the two parties during the whole placement process. Either party can object at any time and immediately end any progress you've made. The chance for failure is high and the pressure is great. But it's also one of the most rewarding careers out there, personally and even financially. The satisfaction of closing a deal and securing the perfect role for a candidate is absolutely rewarding, and the payoff can be huge. If you stick with it and establish yourself, you're looking at a flexible and fulfilling long-term career. So what is the benefit of starting out at an agency? They will hire beginners with little to no expertise and provide the necessary training to get up to speed and start work quickly. It will give you valuable entry-level experience and provide room for advancement if you decide to stay at the organization. Alternatively, it will give you the necessary experience to eventually strike out on your own as an independent recruiter. Since recruitment is so sales-oriented, you will want to really emphasize the appropriate traits and skills when you go into an interview at a recruitment agency. I've come up with 5 categories that we'll focus on in this video: persistence, personality and energy, organizational and time management skills, communication skills, and work ethic and consistency. These 5 categories are comprised of smaller skills that we'll break down in just a moment. Before we get started, as always, consider liking, subscribing, clicking that bell. It really means a lot and helps us out with the algorithm. Let's get into exploring the common attributes that make a successful recruiter. Ones you want to emphasize in an interview to boost your chances of getting hired. Persistence. Persistence is a great trait to have in many areas of life, but it is one of the key attributes in effective recruiters. The job is not easy. Recruiters are faced with constant obstacles and failure every day. The best recruiters are highly adaptable and resilient, following through on commitments regardless of prospect. Many factors out there will be out of your control, will result in a hit on your motivation, but you'll need to learn to accept defeat and use it as a learning tool to move on and become stronger. As an entry-level recruiter at an agency, you might be saddled with a lot of grunt work, such as cold calling or pursuing leads through sites like LinkedIn. These searches are often tough and mundane, and many of those that you reach out to will not be interested and reject you. Pursuing leads and following up with clients and candidates requires a lot of persistence. They have other things on their minds and won't prioritize contacting you unless they understand the value in your service you're providing. Early on in the process, you have to learn to roll with the punches and move on. Clients will choose not to work with you. Candidates will ghost you. Take rejection in stride. While it may seem easy to give up, success will come with persistence and vice versa. Once your persistence pays off, it will be easier to move on from potential roadblocks. How can you emphasize your persistence while looking for a job at a recruitment agency? Demonstrate it. When reaching out to potential employers, be responsive and follow up frequently. Treat your placement within the agency as if it were an assignment. Personality and energy. Recruiting requires constant interaction between you and your clients, candidates, and employers. A dull, unenthusiastic person will not succeed in this sales-like atmosphere, and this will be apparent in your interview. You need to show the interview that you are a lively and engaging communicator. Make eye contact, smile, and do your best to radiate positive energy. Keep in mind these key personality traits: confidence, patience, professionalism, self-awareness, and empathy. Any sort of sales job is all about persuasion. Here, confidence is key. A confident person is a persuasive one, and a persuasive person is an effective recruiter. Studies show humans are drawn to more trusting people who speak confidently. Next up is patience. In many ways, patience is an extension of persistence. The recruiting process can take a lot of time. It will take longer than expected to get a response from a client. A candidate may even ghost you. It can be extremely frustrating. Patience pays off and always looks better than a demanding, impatient person. It might come as a surprise considering that recruiting is quite literally dealing in professionalism, but there are so many unprofessional recruiters out there. You are acting as a liaison between a client and a candidate, and therefore representing them to each other. An unprofessional recruiter will make both parties look bad. Here's one you might not immediately consider: self-awareness. You are going to be analyzing and critiquing candidates for clients and vice versa. If you are unable to step back and look at yourself while recognizing your talents and flaws, you will have a hard time doing that for other people. Last and certainly not least comes empathy. Clients and candidates have their own lives and personal matters to tend to. You need to do your best to remember this and be empathetic if the client's responses is less than stellar. It's nothing personal and represents the chance for you to get closer to your clients while building trust. Organizational and time management skills. A recruiter is constantly balancing multiple things at once: leads, candidates, clients, offers, and other responsibilities. A good recruiter is also a good manager. Even if you are working independently, think of each potential hire as a project that needs to be managed from beginning to end. Show your interviewer that you are organized and timely by showing up on time to the interview. Earlier is always better than later, guys. And being prepared with anything you might need, from your resume to application paperwork. These are two of the simplest things you can do to make a really good first impression, and showing up late or arriving unprepared could mean the difference between getting hired or not. Communication skills. It should hopefully be clear to you that recruiting is all about communication. This means being more than just an effective speaker. Communication skills are a natural extension of personality and energy, but they aren't the same thing. Someone with a great personality and positive energy could be a terrible communicator, and vice versa. The best recruiters are kind but straightforward. Lay everything out on the table to establish trust with a candidate or client. Additionally, they also show genuine interest in them and engage in valuable back and forth conversation with them. Communication is all about an effective back and forth. If you can't maintain this with your interviewer, it speaks volumes about your potential as a recruiter. Remember to listen attentively, address the other person's questions and concerns in a timely manner, and make them feel important. This can go a long way in making and closing offers and deals. Work ethic and consistency. It doesn't matter if you're persistent and an excellent communicator, radiant positivity, and are highly organized. You need to have a strong work ethic above all else. Recruitment work can be repetitive and isn't always consistently rewarding. The best recruiters are consistently putting in the hard work and effort into each one of their tasks, no matter how repetitive, monotonous, or daunting it is. Show the interviewer that you are a skilled and dependable problem solver. Like with any sales jobs or indeed jobs in general, problems will reveal themselves. How quickly and effectively you deal with them will be important in emphasizing a potential skill as a recruiter. Come prepared with 1 or 2 stories about a time you went above and beyond to solve a problem. If you are responsive and provide effective solutions when needed, you'll be seen as a dependable person. Clients and candidates will come to you as you've shown them that they can trust you. There you have it, folks. 5 essential traits that you can hone in on and emphasize during an interview with a recruitment or staffing agency. Certainly, this list is not exhaustive. If you have any of your own tips or stories involving a job interview at a recruitment or staffing agency, be sure to share it with me down below. Just another friendly reminder to consider liking, subscribing, clicking that bell, as it means a lot and it really helps us with the algorithm. Also, feel free to add me at Preston_Park as I try my best to post daily. Thanks again, and we'll see you on the next one.